Hi there, and welcome to Stuff Aquatics. If this is your first time visiting, I hope you stick around. I do all kinds of projects on my ponds, and boy do I have ponds, that are filled with koi. I've also got other ponds that are filled with shibunkin goldfish that I breed. Inside, I have numerous tanks, well, 13 in all. Most of those either have barbs, because I have an issue with them, and shibunkin goldfish. Some of my plants are heavily planted, and I'm really starting to get into that. I really enjoy it. So if you like this video, think about subscribing. Please hit that like button, as I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. On this episode, we're going to be talking about filtration. Now, there's numerous types of filtration, from sponge filtration to canister filters and hang-on-the-back filters. In this episode, we're going to be reviewing some hang-on-the-back filters. Which ones I use, which ones I recommend, and which ones I think are the best. So let's get started. To do a totally fair comparison, I wanted to use 4 hang-on-the-back filters that I currently use. These all claim to do about 90 gallons of water. These are all in large fish tanks with a heavy bio load. So I will be comparing price point, obviously quality and quality of media, whether they are self-priming, and probably the most important, value for your dollar. Well, let's get started with probably the number one filter. At least the number one that everyone thinks of as the number one, being Aquaclear. This is the Aquaclear 110, rated for about 100 gallons. You see there's ample storage inside. It's made of plastic. Note this plastic can be fragile, so be careful. I've dropped one of these before and, well, I've broken it. But the good thing with Aquaclear is you can get replacement parts. In fact, I was able to get the whole box replaced. Comes with a pretty good intake and a reliable motor. The reliable motor is key to it. Comes with a really heavy duty sponge that I do like. It's coarse. It's going to get a lot of your coarse material and remove it. I would like to see a polishing pad that comes with it, but unfortunately there is not. Comes with a bag of activated carbon. Remember, activated carbon only lasts so long. Again, this is the bag of activated carbon. Also comes with a bag of media for your beneficial bacteria, and that'll be your biological filtration. I've added to what they've given you. If you look closely, I've added some K1 media. K1 media, if you see it here, it's very porous. There's lots of open spots for bacteria to hang on there and help with the waste. All in all, this is a really good filter. I like it. It is the most expensive. Well, it's the second most expensive. The problem I find with it is power goes off. It's not really great at self-priming. In fact, it doesn't. And if you'll note, at the bottom of it, there's a little wee tab, being this. That's to keep it off your back of your tank and to keep it flat and straight so the water flows out. These always fall out. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's going to go backwards and soak your floor, but it's always nice to control the rate that it's going in your tank. Speaking of that, you can't control how much flow is coming. So you get full on all the time unless you're going to plug up your intake. So you can't control the intake, nor can you control the outflow. But all in all, this is a really good filter. I would recommend it. It's really reliable. You can get parts just about anywhere. So good filter. I use this on my broodstock of my Schbumpkin tank, that being my 125. So you know I trust it. These Schbumpkin would get out of the way. Be able to show you this much better. You can see there's quite a good flow rate in there. Excellent intake. Nice and quiet. This is one of the real big pros on this pump, is it's quiet. Next, we'll look at the Marineland. Now, I have mostly Marineland in my aquarium. One of the main reasons I have Marineland, probably because, well, back numerous years ago when I started using power filters, uh, one of the big chain stores that's basically just fish only recommended those. Now, at that time, I think they were promoting them because, well, they were selling them. Marineland, in this case, this is the Marineland 400 or the Emperor. It's a big, heavy-duty filter. It's relatively expensive at about $120, $125. It says it'll do about 75 to 90 gallons. It's got a big, huge intake pipe, which you can put an additional sponge filter on, which I do, to supercharge it. I find that these guys, well, they're not self-priming. There's a spray bar here. It often clogs, but it's a nice idea to have the spray bar, and it's got a bio wheel for your beneficial bacteria. These can be replaced. I find if you get them wet and they tend to bend on you, and then you have to replace them. So I really don't use them very much, the bio wheels. You can control the spray bar directionally. It comes with E-size filter mats. This one's a little bit dirty, and I don't really use them. In fact, I throw them all out because they're expensive. I just use matting that I've cut myself and insert them inside. You can replace them or reuse them as much as you want. You spend $10 to $20, and you're going to have good filter matting, well, for as long as this is going to last. The Emperor also comes with these. Now, they recommend you put activated carbon in it. Again, problem with activated carbon is it only lasts so long. And what it's basically used for is, I find, is when you're first setting up a tank or you've just done a huge water change, the carbon will help. Other than that, it breaks down and it's really not much good. Now, what I do is, again, I put K1 inside, so you've got more beneficial bacteria. What K1 is just a little clean plastic that the bacteria can get the foothold on. Water flows through it, and it helps break down all your waste. People in the pond industries and pond keepers use it religiously for their filters, both moving bed filters, and for Easy Pods, and for Nexus, and for DIY itself. It's relatively expensive, this K1, but it's going to last you a lifetime. Or should, unless you flush it down the drain by accident. So again, I put these in here. It'll last a long time. Downfall of these. I don't find the mag drives are very good, as in they don't last that long. They break. I've got several sitting in the back that I'm not currently using until I can find a replacement. And some of the replacements for the older models are a little bit harder to come by. They tend to be a bit loud. They do come with a lid. I don't use it because I put plants in the back to supercharge it. The more you can do to supercharge your filter, the better. And the more you're going to get out of it. Well, let's get this one back to where it's supposed to be. That's flowing full blast. It's got a pretty good flow in here. Like I said, once those bio wheels get a bit of a bend in them, they don't really spin. So I just generally take them out. And you can control. So you can add additional sponges at the front. I like using these little, very inexpensive. Get them at the dollar store. That holds a lot of air and water, so beneficial bacteria will just thrive in there. Next in line, we're going to look at the Aqueon 75. It's rated to do tanks up to 90 gallons. This is your budget-friendly filter. It's got quite a bit of area in here for media. So they provide you with these, they're basically useless after one use. Filter media. You're not going to catch anything with this after one use. So after first use, they're garbage. Replace them again with matting that you've cut yourself. You'll find that it works way better. Now what I'll do is I'll add the additional filtration by adding the matting and setting it up like so. And these will tell you where to put it roughly in your filter, being the blues at the front. Now there's extra room in here. You can probably get a few more mats. They also provide you additional cleaning at the very front. This will catch up some of the algae, and they provide you some minor matting here. Once you get the hang of it, it's not a bad filter. You'll have to clean it periodically. It's got a not bad intake. The profile of it is not as big as the others. I really like it for the price point of usually about $80, $85, in around that range Canadian. And it says it'll do up to a 90-gallon tank. I find it quiet, which is bonus, and it's powerful. Well, let's have a look-see. It's got a really good flow on that. One really good thing about this filter that I really like is it's self-priming. So when the power goes off and then kicks back on, it'll fill on its own. You don't have that terrible gurgling, sucking noise, and you know your motor's going to burn out if you don't deal with it. Lots of oxygen going in that tank. Lots of movement too, which I really like. Now you'll find that I have the odd sponge floating around. That's because I want beneficial bacteria to stay on it, because when I do some filter cleaning, I'll just have it already set up. Last, but certainly not least, is the Seachem Tidal 110. That's rated to about 90 to 100 gallons. It's probably the most expensive out there. You might get them on sale in Canada for $120, 100 to 135. You can see a nice deep spot for you to put lots of filter media, both mechanical and biological. Comes with one coarse filter pad. I wish it came with more. You can buy it separately, including a polishing pad, which I'll probably end up buying down the road. But for now, I'm going to add some of my own filter media that I've cut up, or I've already had cut up, just for additional filtration. It does come with a really nifty bag of filter media that is in a Ziploc or zippered, so you can change it out as you see fit or add to it. I added some more K1 to what they already have. Just make sure when you buy, get one of these titles, that you wash the filter media first. I find there's a bit of dust on them, just from the rock that they put in here. Now that's a porous rock to promote beneficial bacteria. The really good thing about the Seachem is I can control the intake here, and I can control the flow. It also, if the power shuts off, it has an automatic primer. Really easy to get to the mag drive, as is the Aqueon, easy to get to the mag drive. It's a really good make. Nice and sturdy box. As far as on the back, where it's up against your glass, you can modify that quite easily by just turning the screw. Really good design. I use this in my main barb tank. It moves the water around really well, especially if you like fish that like some current. You can control it, and they'll love this one. Now, you'll ask, why don't I have the lids on most? Most because I have plants growing out of them. Some are kind of like a pain to deal with. But this one here, I do put the lid on it because I have some plants roots in here that I want to hold down. Let's see how this one looks compared to the others. There's a reflection there, sorry. You can see how much water movement is going on there. Lots of oxygen taking place. This is ultra quiet. Like I said, I can control the intake and the out. Well, those are the main filters I had, and the reason I chose those is they all claim to be about the same power, as in being able to do a tank of 90 gallons or more. Now, obviously, with the amount of fish I have, I would have two filters in my 125 gallon, and just because of the amount of waste that the shabbunkins and, well, even the barbs bring. So the more filtration, the better. So let's rate these. Well, let's start with the bottom. I would have to rate, even though I have most of, is Marineland. They're big, they're cumbersome, they're loud, they break down. I will be replacing them as they go. There are good aspects, as you can really supercharge them, but they're just big and cumbersome, take up a lot of room, they're hard to hide, and they are loud. Next in line, I would have to rate the Aqueon. The Aqueon is great in that it is a self-primer. The filtration itself, as in what they supply you, is, well, it's garbage. After the first use, you're going to have to throw it out. I recommend, again, making your own. It's Again, it's quiet. It's a great price point. I'll have to see how it holds up. Yeah, it's not bad. Like, I wouldn't knock anyone for having any of these, but if I had the money again, would I buy another one? No, I wouldn't. Even though I have two small Aqueon units myself, it's just it fit the budget at the time. The next in line is the Aqua Clear. Uh, I For the money, I wanted to be able to self prime. That's one of the main things it comes down to. I love that it's got a great big filter pad, that you can actually add a little bit more filter to it if you want, um, especially if you want to add more vial to it. I don't like that you can't control the flow on it for that price point and how brittle it can become. On the plus side of that is you can always get the parts. And the motors on those are great. And last but not least, well, first would be the Seachem. Um, I really like them. Uh, I was at a ma and pa fish store in the United States with my son, and I was chatting up one of the employees, and she was about my age, and she'd been in the hobby a long time. So, in fact, she's the owner of the store. She took me through all her hand in the back filters, and she goes, "This is the one I recommend. Why? Because it'll last you forever. You can control so much with it, and it does so much." So I hemmed and hawed because the price point was scaring me a bit because I was paying in American dollars, and it's about the same price in the States as it is in Canada, except for it's American money. So that's another 25%. So I bit the bullet. I brought it home, and I really liked it. Um, it's quiet, self-priming. You can control the intake and the outtake on it. It's powerful. You can add as much biofilter media as you want. I like that in the zip bag. I wish it came with a little bit more actual matting itself and a polishing pad. But that I can buy. They'll probably cost me about $20, so it'd be well worth it. I liked it so much, I just went out and, well, you can see. I bought another. This is the Title 75. This is supposed to do up to about a 75-gallon tank. I've got it on a 55-gallon tank now with my barbs, who are absolutely loving the current. Look at those Aurelius. They're going, okay, I'm home. Yep, this is the new filters for me, Seachem. Note that I did not get paid by any of these companies, nor have they given me anything for free to promote their products. This is just me with my experience and me spending my dollars to buy them. Did I mention I really love the flow on that? That's powerful. And that's the smaller unit. Well, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, hit that like button. Think about subscribing. And don't forget that notification bell, because I'll be doing more reviews on other products. Don't forget to check out some of our species profile that my wife narrates. Man, she does an awesome job on those. I do the writing on it. She does the narration. She's got the voice for it. There's no spot trying to talk like me. Yeah. Well, thanks again for watching, and for those who stuck around. Really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. We'll see you real soon. Bye now.